Hey guys, I want to show you my portable power system that I've been working on here. Kind of a knockoff of a Jackery or Blue Yetis, if you see any of those. I've been working hard on this thing. First time building something like this, it gives me an appreciation for what goes into those little power packs. But I do have a Jackery 500, and if my math checks out, this is at least 5 to 6 times what that can power. It is made using the DeWalt 2.0 Tough system. This is the medium-sized toolbox, and then they have other accessory boxes that simply clip on. So, for example, this one, I'll start at the top before I open anything. This is my solar charge controller. Trying to do this one-handed. My solar charge controller, I got a 40 amp charge controller. I ordered 600 watts of solar panels. I will put plugs on here and fans as well because these things do get kind of warm. But this just plugs into my power box using an SB50 Anderson. This is capable of handling 50 amps. I've got large 8 gauge wire between everything. So boom, I can unplug that. So I can clip that on when I want to bring it. When I need a solar panel, when I feel like the battery itself will not be enough for me. So moving on to the battery box on the outside here, I did mount fan systems because these things do get hot. So there's a tiny 2.5 inch fan there blowing out and one sucking in over here. I do have battery monitor. I haven't quite figured this out yet because it's telling me I have 100 amp hour capacity. It's a 200 amp hour battery, so I think I gotta plug something, change some settings in there. Right here I got sets of USB ports, a total of 6 of those, 2 cigarette lighter plugs. That SB50, I can power something in or it can power something out. So I can hook a solar panel right to the, or my solar charge controller. Here I have a plug for charging my battery. Here I have a 110 volt plug. And here is some, I think they're called SAE plugs. I have things like this powered up for example, my diesel heater here. I have that, so I can just plug that in there. Kind of covers the outside of this thing. Hopefully this gives somebody some inspiration. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do a lot of camping, outdoorsy stuff. Camping out on ice while ice fishing. But check out this bad boy. So here, I didn't want to put too large of an inverter in here because these things do get hot. I figured for day-to-day, this is totally fine. I also do have a 2000 watt inverter. I think I'm going to put in another one of these boxes. I can clamp that on top when I want to use that. But here's my onboard charger. I think this is a 35 amp charger or 40 amp. Everything in here is obsessively fused, if you can't tell. 40 amp fuses were necessary for my lower draw items here, like my switches, cigarette sockets, USB plugs and everything are fused here. Here is, I think it's called a stunt for the battery, which operates this battery monitor so it can keep track of it. Everything, it's hard to see down in there, but the heart of this all, see if I can do this one-handed. Down in here is a 200 amp hour lithium battery, lithium phosphate, LiPo. I think there's a 3 in there somewhere too. But hopefully this gives somebody some inspiration. This thing will power quite a bit, 200 amp hours. And using my quick charging capabilities for solar and on land, I think I can recharge this thing in about 4 hours of direct sunlight. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Hopefully I gave somebody some inspiration. And I'll see you on the next crazy thing I build. Peace.